Welcome back to my channel. My name is Spiritual Gypsy. I had a eye-opening dream last night, so today's quick reading is about an evolution or shape-shifting that needs to be done and guidance on that from Spirit, however that resonates with you. And the significator card, sorry, I have to cover it for the YouTube rules, is Ascending Soul with number 3, and it's got all these beautiful colors, and it looks kind of like Ariel once she had her legs and she's like swimming out, like she got transformed into a human and she is swimming out into her element. These are the shuffled and drawn tarot, and these are the oracle. I will pull more tarot if I need to convey the message that Spirit wants to convey. This is just the starting point, and again, the message is about a metamorphosis or an evolution that is going to occur, and you can just take the guidance as it resonates for you. I'm going to start with the oracle. There are 2 more from this deck that came out. I'm going to just preview them for YouTube rules. Okay. We've got 2 with change and 7 with vulnerability is power. There's a lot of like emotion vibes here because I was drawn to seeing like this was Ariel after she was transformed into a human. There's vivid blue. And blue is throat chakra, but it also makes me think of the ocean, and her eyes are closed and she's feeling, right? Feeling without thought, just like in a meditative state. Feeling is what that is making me feel and drawn to. And with this vulnerability is power, we've got this like 6-pointed star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's in the chakra, the throat chakra placement, so it could be significant with words that need to change, but also the chakra for the heart is a 3-pointed. It's the upwards triangle and the downwards triangle together, so it also makes me think of the heart chakra. So it could be the throat chakra linked with the heart chakra, talking with your heart chakra in the lead could possibly be significant. But let's get the rest of the cards here. I apologize. I'm going to do my best to have them all in frame at the same time, but I have limited space. I'm still working on how I like things, and as a mom, I don't always get the time that I want to adjust things, so I apologize. Since I felt drawn to apologize, it could be significant for some of you. Some of you could be a mom. Some of you could over-apologize. A lot of us as people pleasers do over apologize for things that are not our fault. And then we have White Buffalo Calf Woman with integrity. This is a feminine archetype deck, and I love it. And this talks about how she was a white buffalo and she taught integrity, and she transformed into a woman once they've learned their lesson to show her power. But she didn't show her power until they learned her lesson. She was a calf, which that kind of for me synchronizes with the vulnerability, because when she was in her cow form, her buffalo form, she could have been seen as vulnerable, right? Because buffalo was used for clothing and for meat and different things, so it could have been a vulnerable state. So that could be significant. Vulnerability could be hard and could be something you're not used to. We have skull cap here. I'm going to bring it a little closer, hopefully without jiggling. We also have Pluto up there and Saturn, because this is the Saturn symbol. So Pluto and Saturn can be significant. Pluto is about order, is about responsibility, practicality. Pluto is about transformation. So it could be a transformation of practical use of the throat chakra and your emotions and your feelings. It could be any number of things from there. Okay, I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to move this. I'm going to have to double up on the cards. I'm sorry. I have limited space. We have a herb I'm not going to try to butcher. but it means, sorry about the framework there. Come on, a rebirth with 50 and Pluto again, but we also have Neptune and Jupiter. So a lot of big energy here. What is most significant in my mind is that Pluto, Neptune, and like the bigger planets out that way take longer to move through signs. So there could be a massive shift. I know Neptune is about to be in Pisces, which doesn't happen very often because Neptune and Pluto and Uranus take the longest to move. So you tend to have the same placements for whole generations of people. We have square with a challenging situation and a mountain to climb. Also with square, I do know that Saturn and Neptune are both going to be in Pisces for a little bit come the end of October. And I don't know if most of you know this, but Saturn and Neptune are complete opposites. Neptune is about the daydreaming, illusions, beyond the veil, anything spiritual that you could imagine, even more than we could ever imagine, because that's Neptune's specialty. And Saturn is about reality and practicality and responsibility, and so they're complete opposites. So that is kind of drawing my attention there. And we have the Sun with self-expression and embodied truth, which kind of also reinforces that throat chakra energy. So overall, before I even get the tarot cards, what I'm seeing is this energy of transformation in regards to responsibility, illusion, luck. So could have to do with manifestation, could be breaking the illusion, because with the pardon me, hold on, I have to put this back here. Okay. Because with this, you're kind of like breaking your mask. Right, the mask is into the false self, and you have like this mirror here. So it's time to break the illusion. Could be the significance of Saturn with Neptune and Pisces, because Pisces, one of their biggest wounds is that reality is hard, because Pisces can see beyond the veil. Not quite as good as Neptune, but because they have that connection to Neptune, they tend to be really good at fantasizing and seeing the different possibilities there are in life. And so I do feel like it might have something to do with that. It also could be for some being more vocal about how you feel in your heart chakra. I'm not just saying like minor feelings. I'm talking about you have a strong feeling and you don't voice your opinion. Something like that, a rebirth. It could be a rebirth of the fact that things that we can't imagine are possible. Considering Saturn talks about what's possible and the practicality and the steps to get there, the real in life 3D steps to get there, in conjunction with Neptune's infinite number of possibilities that we can't even imagine. But let's get the tarot cards and see what they say. We have the Nine of Cups with gratitude. We have more blue here and the green for that heart chakra. So again, the throat chakra and the heart chakra could be significant. I'm going to put these here. I'm trying my best not to cover up like the words, even though I have limited space. That way we can still see the words. I'm not going to be able to with the buffalo calf, the white buffalo calf woman, but I know what she says there. Also could be because we're going to be covering up the angel here, or the fairy, and the woman could be hiding a femininity, could be hiding emotions. Also, we have the Seeker of Stones. We have the Fool card, and we have the Universe. Okay, so I want to pull these major arcana up really quickly to go over here. So we have Saturn energy and Uranus energy again. Could be, so these major players, so the ones in the outfield, the Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, the big ones, the major ones. When you're thinking of space and how far those are away, those are going to be very significant to this evolution and this change that Spirit wants to tell us about and wants to prepare us for. And with this gratitude card, it is making me feel as if, like, when you manifest, you're supposed to be grateful knowing that it's already in your possession, right? You don't say, I want more money, and, like, just that's the end, because then you are creating the wanting of more, instead of actually what you want. So this is saying, do it in a grateful way. Like, I am thankful that I am abundant, right? We go through the aspect of we already have it, we're already thankful for it. And I see this as being protected, but also being strong in the face of adversity. It also is kind of making me think, so Neptune is a planet of ice and cold, and so it's giving me this, like, so you gotta stand firm and walk the path, like, so you have more than one. Be firm and stand in groundedness in the earth as you walk the path beyond the veil and what you think is possible. And here we go again with this, like, the new beginning. So this is kind of a reinforcement or a synchronicity of this path that is about to unlock for us, is one that's very important to be grounded and stay anchored in the 3D, not to get lost in the illusion. Know that the illusion is possible, but know that it's also important to maintain that 3D and being grounded. And along this journey of this new beginning, that it's gonna feel kind of like childlike, of when you first discover something that you really like. For example, I don't know why it's coming to mind, when you have your first taste of ice cream and you're like, this is amazing. So this path is going to be amazing, but it's very important to be grateful for what we have, whether it be what you're manifesting or what you currently have, both. Being thankful and being grounded in the 3D, because it's going to be very significant in this transition. Also, with this infinity symbol here, it's making me be drawn to the Magician card. So kind of balancing the 3D and Spirit is going to be very important moving forward. And I love how there's this lamp here, because we're talking about infinite number of possibilities of wishes being able to just be granted, because Neptune has the ability to see things. I almost feel like Neptune is closely linked with, like, the beautiful threads of the universe and the chords, and being able to see what each possibility, each chord holds. If you are very much into Greek mythology, gives me fate's energy. They're able to see how every chord could go, every possible outcome for every person, every being, and it almost gives me it's possible. It's a genie. In Aladdin there was only 3 wishes, right? So it's very important to maintain that balance of your elements and stay grounded moving forward, but no, it's going to be a very exciting path. And then I love this deck because this is a unique card to this deck. It talks about being with being in the world but not of the world. So knowing that you are divinely connected here, but being grounded and protected at the same time. It almost gives me this multiple layers of connectivity here, because you have this ring of connection and protection, then you have this green ring of protection, then you have a bigger green ring of protection, and then you have this protection of crystal here. So heavily protected. We are heavily protected. We're just told to maintain grounded. So our only responsibility is this level here. All the other levels are being done by our spirit teams. So that is what I see for this quick message. It was very clear. I don't feel as if I have to pull any more cards. I will channel and get any last minute messages that I feel drawn to pull out. But I'll tell you a little bit about the dream that I had last night. I saw from an outside perspective 3 different paths at the same time converge, and at the end, the last scene that I saw was in regards to Neptune. So I think that it's very significant that Neptune energy came out here. I also would like to say that I think it's very significant that it's like eyes closed, eyes open. So it's like before we might have been only seeing these realities behind closed eyes, right? In our meditations, in our dreams. But it's almost like open your eyes, know that it's possible. But there are rules to follow to make it possible. And that's kind of where that Saturn energy comes into play, right? There are rules and steps that you have to follow. You gotta follow the path, right? You gotta start at 0 and work your way down the tarot path, right? But it is possible. So I feel this is a very strong message for whoever needs to hear it, that nothing is impossible. It is just the how we do it, right? It's not the what, because the what is infinite numbers of possibilities. It's how we get there. The how is the significance, and that is what I see.